Crafty Crandall fam. In today's video, we are trying none other than needle felting. I have been super interested in this process, and for my birthday, my family generously provided me with some needle felting kits, so I am going to give this a shot. I have here the corresponding kit to this little green monster, and so I'm going to give this a shot. I figured it looked like the easiest of the bunch to try to figure out. It had the least like moving pieces, so hopefully it'll be the easiest one. I've got here a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to unpack all of this, unpack my felt, and try to follow the instructions, and I will voice over the process and hopefully can give you guys some tips and tricks and what not to do's, because I'm sure I will make many a mistake. The kit came with all of the essentials, including these super handy finger guards. Oh my gosh, I was scrolling through their YouTube channel to find the tutorial, and look, I want that one. That one is just so adorable. Although that said, my family did also get me this one, which is also adorable. And I'm planning on doing this one last because it is A, the biggest, but also B, it's a penguin, so I want to make it really well. And so I want to kind of get through the first 4 little dudes that I've got here before I try that one, because I want to be at least a little bit more skilled in this before I try that one. Okay, so I think that I found the video, and it looks like it's all in Chinese, Japanese, I'm not honestly sure, but the subtitles on the video are also in that language, so I'm not going to be able to actually read anything, but I'm pretty sure that this is the right one because they're starting out with the same color felt and it looks like it's correct. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch this and hopefully gain some tips. This kit comes with 3 different sizes of needles. We've got our small, medium, and large. We also have this, I think she called it an awl. It is just to poke the eye holes, I guess. And then this handle, which you can put, like, load one of the needles onto so that you can just use it to stab with. The kit also came with some styrofoam to do all your work on, along with 2 finger thingies so that you can hold it down and not worry about stabbing your fingers quite as much. And it comes with a hot glue stick, so I'm not really sure what that's for, but regardless, we're gonna give this a shot. I do think that the video was helpful, however, none of it was in English, and it was, you couldn't tell when she like switched needles, but I think the text here does mention when to do that, so let's hope for the best and continue forward. Step 1 is to just take out some of the blue felt and roll it into a size that is approximately as big as this. They give you like the 1-to-1 figure so that you can kind of measure what you're doing here. So we'll just kind of take some of this. I'm not sure if you're supposed to like cut it, but they want you to roll it up. So we'll roll it up. Is that about that big? I mean, I feel like that's about that big. We'll give it a shot. If it's too small, I think we can always add more later. I have my medium needle here. That's what it says to use. I'm gonna go ahead and load this guy into the tool. I think that's how you do it. And then I've got my felt, and I am gonna put my little finger thingies on, and I'm just gonna stab this 10,000 times, and we'll see how it goes. So in order to get this into a really tight ball, you have to stab it a lot. I know that they do sell like 4-prong needle tools, which I plan to get in the future, which I think will make this a lot quicker, but it was a very long process. So be aware if you start this, it is not for like the faint of heart as far as tediousness. Apparently, it is supposed to be round, so they tell you to add some wool on the left and right sides to make it more of a sphere. So I'm assuming that they mean like this, and we'll see how it goes. I will say though that this is a super forgiving medium, which is really appreciated from an artistic standpoint because I feel like you can just be more creative with it. I mean, I think that's pretty decent. I think that it is mostly spherical, and it is approximately, maybe slightly larger, but approximately the size that I need. So I'm gonna move on to step 3, which is just to take like a thin layer of felt and wrap it around the whole thing. I think just to like smooth it out. To do this, I am going to both take some new felt and also I am going to change my needle because it says to use a fine needle for this process. Hooray! Onto the tail. For the tail, I only wanted to stab just the end of it to form a shape, which I thought was a really interesting way to do it. I was really excited to kind of learn the methodology further. Moment of truth. Now I'm supposed to join these two things together so that this tail fits on this ball. It was at this point that I kind of realized just how forgiving a medium it was and how easy it was to join shapes together. Well, at this point I have the tail attached, but it doesn't look nearly as smooth as what they have, so I'm going to try to add some more felt into like this part to kind of smooth it out into that type of shape. I was really pleased at how easily this went. At any point, if you want your shape to look a lot smoother, all you have to do is add a really thin layer of felt, take your small needle, and just continuously poke at it until it is smoothed over. The next step is to actually add the eye holes, which is super interesting. So they're actually like on the far ends of his face by the looks of it. So I'm just gonna make sure that I got my tail in the right place. Maybe do one here and one there. And they mention the glue in the instructions. So the glue is actually to affix the eyes, but they just give you like a stick of hot glue, assuming that you have a hot glue gun. Happily, I do have a hot glue gun, so I will go ahead and use just a bit of glue to affix the eyes into my little holes right there. Honestly, the eyes were a really difficult part of this process, and I still don't know how to do the eyes properly. I've done one more of these types of needle felting projects since this, and still had no luck doing the eyeballs. Trying to put a little bead of glue on the end of it, and then sticking it into the hole that you punched with the awl didn't seem to be the best way to do this. I think next time what I will try is putting a bit of glue on the hole and then shoving the eye into it, hoping that it'll disperse the glue a little bit better into the hole. But overall, I don't have a good recommendation for the eyeballs. I can say you probably don't want to do them the way that I did, which was to put the glue on the eyeball first and then put the eyeball into the hole. They did stick in the end, but it was not easy. Alright, well, he could be cute if the eyes stay attached. Oh boy, and now we get to use a new color. So we're going to make the mouth next. So we're going to use this red felt to try to make the mouth. It looked like they did a lot of folding. So yeah, if I like take this and then I fold it in as I go, it looks like that's how they made it. So we'll give that a shot. Honestly, if I hadn't had the video, I don't think I would have figured out how to do this, but the folding method was a really good way to get a nice, even layer of the felt on there with crisp edges, so I really appreciated this technique. His mouth is a little bit too big, so I'm gonna try to use some of this to cover it back up. This also worked great. I, again, think that this is such a forgiving medium because you can just really easily cover stuff up and kind of go back to like stage 1 with the original color. Alright, slightly more manageable size mouth. Now we do the teeth. I have made 8 small balls, 4 for the top and 4 for the bottom for his teeth, just like they instructed, and hopefully I can make them into somewhat of triangular shapes through the needle. The teeth got progressively better as I continued to do them. I kind of learned how to push the felt in as I was stabbing it so that I could make a more triangular shape for the individual teeth. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not mad at that. They're not perfectly triangular, but they look so cute. Next is the arms, so they'll go on the sides of him, and then we just have the little cheeks and the fins left. For the arms, I just created the shapes in advance and then stabbed them into the sides of the body. I think this worked really well. And then the next part of the process was to make the fins. So I made 4 different size little balls of felt and then kind of just repeated the same process that I used for the arms, in that I kind of stabbed them into little shapes in advance. And then the process for attaching them to the head was basically the same, only you wanted to kind of come at it from the sides instead of from the top. So I would like punch toward the side, and then I would turn it around and then punch toward the side. And I think that this worked really well. I was impressed with how easy it was to attach things to the outside of your main shape. This was a really fun aspect of this process, and I really look forward to seeing like how my creativity can be utilized using all of the different techniques that this process kind of made me aware of. Before this, I would have had no clue how to do any of this, so it was really a learning experience and a very fun one at that. I think that this is something I'm going to continue to explore and do maybe even a lot more than painting. I would love to know what you guys think down below. Have you guys tried needle felting? Is this something that you're personally interested in or something that you do already? Do you have any tips and tricks for me? I would really love to hear them, as I do plan on continuing to do this in my free time. I love the result. I think that he is super cute. I just pray that the eyes do stay on, and at some point I learn how to do the eyes. If you liked this video, please give it a like, consider subscribing down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!